Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like it's been a while, but what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Innuendo. If you don't get it, we innuendo. But if you with it, when it's finished, in the end, you win. Dough, man. Let's go. Look, I'm back at it like I have another video for you guys. Check it, man. We're gonna actually check out Anthony Fantano. Eminem dropped some mid one, but yeah, let's just get it in.
Hey buddy, did you hear the news? It's track review.
This the Houdini one.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a track review. My thoughts on a brand new single. This one, Houdini, Eminem. Guess who's back? You already know. You don't need to guess. To say Eminem is at a weird point in his career right now is kind of putting it lightly, because...
So, I want to say this too, because I feel like, at least to me, even though now, if you go on Apple Music, I had this idea in my head right before I went on Apple Music, but if you go on Apple Music, Houdini is actually one of the tracks on his upcoming album, Death of Some Shady, that's supposed to be coming out on the 12th. And I'm not mad at it. It's just interesting because, like, you go through the freaking track list trying to figure out, like the different songs and stuff, and it's like track number 11. I initially, because he has bonus tracks that won't be available right away that you can buy when you download the digital album, and I don't know if I want to do that. But I thought Houdini was going to be one of the bonus tracks. I know that probably would have been stupid, but strategic-wise, it would have made sense because then people who hate it could have just like had that as a bonus track and just listen to the whole album and not complain about the album because of the one song.
Objectively important and influential rappers of all time, but also one of the most...
See, which is why I say people can't say he's trash, because he has a huge cult following and a huge fan base, and he's killing it. He's selling albums, making records, and selling records, and getting the highest this, the highest that. So people can't really, like, I get they want him to be better, and that's perfectly fine. But I feel like people kind of critique Eminem for all the wrong reasons, and they're gonna nitpick and this, that, and the third.
Polarizing, hated, and disrespected too, to the point where I find myself sometimes defending him in conversations that try to completely erase every contribution he's made to rap music.
Okay, so at least he gives him the respect of, like, yeah, he did contribute to rap music and stuff like that, because a lot of people try to act like he doesn't have a legacy here, and that's what gets on my nerves too. It's like, yeah, you could say like some tracks are silly, goofy and stuff, you may love or hate it and stuff like that, but then he has some stuff where it's like it's fire, and then some stuff is just straight garbage. Like, I know a lot of people will say they don't like the Fact song. I sing the hell out of an Eminem song, good or bad. I'm just having a good time. That's my whole gist. Let's go.
But by that same token, I can't really ignore the fact that artistically he has fallen off really hard in recent years. Something his own most hardcore fans try to ignore as much as possible, though the insecurities around that are still very much there in the tea leaves. Like, ask yourself, if current day Eminem is so good, then why can't he go a teaser single or an entire new album without living in the past or obsessing over the old him? I mean,
yes, I feel like one track is fine. You get a track to talk about how you mad you don't like, people didn't like your old album, you didn't like your own, whatever you wanted to go for, or a quick bar, whatever the case is. And then you can have a couple stuff talking about the critiques, the haters, the people who kind of said whatever they said about you, dissing people and stuff, whatever. And then just go bar heavy, not corny bars, but bar heavy on each track and have fun. Like that Wicked Ways or Evil Twin, like just have fun and be silly and stuff. But when it's like, it just really depends on where Eminem is going for. And I feel like a lot of times, like he said before, man, he's always on that back and forth of when he does old Eminem, people say they want him to be more mature. Then when he does mature stuff, they say they miss old Eminem. But I feel like Eminem just doesn't know what they mean by old Eminem, because people don't really like specifically say what they miss. Because even when you say I miss old Eminem, like Slim Shady and stuff like that, like the death of Slim Shady, the Houdini one is perfect, but this and the new song that he just dropped really shows that there's more than one side to each of his alter egos. Like Slim Shady isn't just the silly side; it's the grittiness, the criminal, the I'll fuck you up kind of. Like it's not just silly Houdini is Slim Shady. Like he had a lot of songs on Kamikaze where Slim Shady based, especially the Fall one. Why is my phone freaking Siri? Stop listening to my every words. But you get stuff like Fall where it's like you want a Shady, you got him, and it's like that's the more darker version of Shady that he's like, I'm not fucking around.
What exactly is driving this dichotomy within Eminem and his music, as clearly there's some kind of internal struggle going on between a guy who clearly wants to keep being the boundary pusher that he was when he broke onto the scene, a button pusher as well. In concept, I think he wants to keep rattling cages, but doing that would mean breaking away from his past on some level, and his past work, his past successes, his past records are the only reason he continues to be relevant right now. Which brings us to his latest track and single here, Houdini, which I've spun.
I disagree. He has relevancy elsewhere, but I feel like he's saying like Eminem feels like he's only relevant because of his past stuff, so people say they want the old Eminem, so he tries to do that to keep himself relevant. Eminem just needs to do him. He's going to have the fan base regardless, but people got to get used to the new him and the new way he does stuff, not just the fast track Eminem, but other things that he does where he just kills it, like he did on when he went from Recovery, and Music to Be Murdered By. The Music to Be Murdered By side A and B were pretty fire, and Kamikaze. Like those things were pretty fair, and especially Recovery was probably a perfect blend of not doing too much and not rapping too fast, and then you get kind of like Kamikaze is like some stuff is just a little bit more jarring. So I can understand that.
Several times over at this point, and it's pretty clear what Eminem is going for on this track. I mean, the song literally kicks off with a chorus that references past moments in his music when he's sung us reminders that, oh, he's back. Guess who's back? Which makes you have to wonder how many comebacks can a single artist even have. Still, I will admit, flow-wise and musically, I think what Eminem is offering on this track is better than pretty much anything on Revival and Kamikaze.
It depends on the songs on Kamikaze, because like I said, there's some songs that can be a little jarring, especially like the actual song called Kamikaze on Kamikaze. I would put this song over that for sure. Otherwise, not necessarily, but it really just depends on your cup of tea or what you're kind of looking for when it comes to that.
Terms of it just being generally listenable and pretty hooky. But I think the reason this track works to the extent that it does is Eminem is just essentially coloring in the lines on this song, painting by numbers, rehashing ideas that he knows have worked for him in the past, and offering nothing else in addition to that, point blank, period. The question is, does it actually hold a candle to any of that past work? And does this shtick still work in 2024 in the same way that it did in 1999? And I think for anybody who's not living in the past, the answer is going to be no. I mean,
not necessarily. Okay, so like I listened to Without Me. I guess all the same kind of like things or whatever from Without Me. So I get like you compare those two tracks. Eminem's trying to like bring, but I feel like it's the death of Slim Shady. So he's trying to bring up that hype. A single that's kind of like referencing some of that stuff is the perfect execution for this album. Now I don't know how the rest of the album is gonna be, but it's the perfect execution because I really want to see how else he's gonna do this. It's gonna be kind of like very interesting to say the least of how this album is gonna come out. But I think just the perfect execution for the death of Slim Shady to have one of the lead singles be something to remind you of what like Slim Shady kind of is for the most part, and throw all these references in your face.
I would much rather just listen to a track from one of Eminem's first 3 albums if I wanted something on this spectrum. And lyrically, of course, Eminem is trying to channel the old him once again, but I think he is doing kind of a piss-poor job of it. We have all of these descriptions of Eminem being bad and devilish, and you know he's a big old misbehaving guy, a rapscallion. But the thing is, Eminem current day is not really the controversial figure that he used to be back in in the early 2000s. And anybody who thinks so clearly does not remember vividly in the way that I and anyone my age does, just how much of an enemy number one type figure Eminem was in the music industry in terms of him just being an awful person, a bad influence.
Like, I get that aspect, because Eminem coming up, they were really trying to get rid of him. The songs he put out back in the day were definitely not fly now, and I feel like Eminem knows that, and he's trying to be as attack mode as he can, but at the same time, a lot of his projects come off as like he still understands, like he's not gonna be able to say the craziest shit like he did, or it's not gonna be as abrasive as it was when it first came out.
Eminem literally could say almost anything on a track today, and it's not going to hurt his bottom line in the long run, even with the headlines and head turns that were stirred as a result of the Megan Thee Stallion feet bar on this track, which is kind of the first big controversial to do on this song, which, I mean, yes, again, has generated a lot of conversation, but as somebody who used to be a big Eminem fan when he first broke back in the day, my response is pretty much like, is this all you got? This is you channeling the old Eminem and going back? This is it? Like, what is he really putting on the line by dropping a bar like this? He actually would chance alienating a lot more people if he made the same joke but flipped it in a way where it was at Tory Lanez's expense, because likely Eminem's audience has quite a bit of crossover with the Cro-Magnon knuckleheads that would make a very similar joke about Megan getting shot in the foot, or just questioning whether or not there's any validity.
That actually would have been interesting if he made a joke about Tory Lanez. I just feel like it just, the way he said it just worked. So yeah, I still feel like Eminem should have a song with Megan Thee Stallion on the album. That's just me personally. Didn't know what direction he wanted to go in by mixing that and like trap music kind of songs too. And then towards the end is where you kind of felt like that was Eminem-esque and Revival. That's probably why people don't like it. I like, individually, the tracks are fine. Like, I'll listen to them anytime and play them. I just think people don't look like those tracks for the weirdest reasons. But as an album in whole, I can understand why people don't like Revival. It just seems like a random mess put together. Like, he just scouted up everything he could and just threw it together and called it an album. It's
fucking Eminem. So yeah, this track is annoying. It's mid.
And that's, I mean, like I said, music is subjective, but it's not annoying and it's not mid. Like, that's, the song is like actually on point. But I get what people, when you look for something specifically, you're gonna kind of want that. So that's why I said the track is more split in the middle between fans, because people want a certain kind of style from Eminem, but then there's still core fans who's gonna listen to that silly Eminem. He fucking went out, did a live performance and played the song, and everybody, like millions of people, just jamming and dancing and rapping and singing the lyrics. Like, you can't tell me they don't like that song if everybody came out just for that. Like, nah. For real. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, baby. Share with your friends. I put in videos out every single week, pretty much every single day. Road to 1,000. Let's get it in. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Let's rock with me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. No stress. Let God take it to rest. And I will see you guys in the next video, man. Let me know what you guys want to see next. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to hurry up and edit this and post this, because I got other things I got to do. But I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.